Yes.
And I am telling you, Jamaica.
I have to record this.
Look out.
Head boy go call in you now.
Look out, Jamaica. Look
This gets
out.
serious.
Look out. Look out. I wish somebody could give me. I am telling you, Courtney. Bobby Montague invested serious money. And they were told not to have done it. They were told, Jamaica, not to have done it. And they
I look at you them on TikTok. Everybody I get tricked, you know? Everybody.
Head boy calling me.
See head boy I calling now.
Head boy, good night.
Like we hear this.
Good night. Why are you touching my portfolio area tonight, teacher?
I have to touch all it as a teacher. I have to touch all the areas of concern for the public. And this one First Rock has been under my radar because I want to know how is it that this one where didn't come from no wealth or nothing, just usurp from Clarendon and just reach where him reach with all of these kind of business. Tell us, head boy.
You want to let me tell you, history is a very good teacher.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You are the people's prime minister. I am the people's minister of transportation and aviation.
Mighty God.
Because I worked in the system. Mm-hmm. When this Ryan Reid, we must ask him what is his relationship to Norman Reid. Does that name ring a bell?
Who is Norman Reid?
He was appointed the board chairman of Port Security Corps Limited when Montague became minister.
Oh yeah.
Immediately, Port Security Corps Limited works directly with the officers who search in the airport when you're going away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yes.
It Yeah? Mm-hmm. So what he did, he could not put him on the Airport Authority board then because Mike Henry had set up the board and Billy Shaguri, which he was trying to remove for a while, was saying, no, me not going away, no. Because Mike was not happy that transportation was taken away.
Yes.
So what they did was when he became minister now and I settled a while, Billy's health became bad. And so him kind of convinced Billy to go and bring this woman named Faye Hutchinson.
Faye Hutchinson. Yes, Faye Hutchinson was Secretary Insurance agent.
Right. Faye now took up $450 million. Yeah?
450 million.
From the NMIAL Limited.
From Norman Manley International Airport.
Limited. Because what people have to understand, NMIA Limited is a special purpose vehicle where the government collects money from Norman Manley International
Yankee bless. Big up.
AJ.
Yes.
And then AJ takes from NMIA Limited to manage other things.
Oh.
So they took from NMIA, which also has the pension fund of the workers who worked at the airport.
Wow.
So NMIA is a special SPV, they call it, a special purpose vehicle entity just set up to hold funds.
Yeah.
AJ is the management of all airports in Jamaica. Yeah? What they did, they take from both entities, including the National Insurance Fund.
Yeah.
Now, she did it under the instruction, because let me tell you how close Ryan Reid's father is to Montague. They are buddies. They are buddies.
Really?
Meaning they are always seen together. In most of the time, the same Reid, his father was teaching because he was very integral in NCB. What? First Rock must tell us what is their relationship in their embryonic stages with NCB.
What? Really?
Right?
Continue.
That is why Reid is put on this young Reid now, the son, is put on so many boards. Because what it was, at First Rock, and let me tell you what they did with the First Rock money.
Yeah.
The 450 million, they bought, that this First Rock group has KFC Costa Rica.
Them have what?
KFC chains in Costa Rica.
Them have the franchise of KFC in Costa Rica?
In some parts of Costa Rica. And they also have the properties there in Costa Rica. Yeah?
Wow.
So what First Rock was, it was, remember SSL they knew the health of SSL from 2018, the true state of it. Yeah?
Yeah.
So they had to now find, and they know that it was going to collapse and it was going to require shutting down. They now had to find another SPV, a special purpose vehicle company, to put the funds in. And First Rock presented that opportunity.
Wow.
So if people are looking for SSL money, I think the first place I'd start to look is at First Rock.
Really?
Embarrassing.
He
needs some milk.
Protect the thief in money from. If people are looking for SSL money, I think the first place I'd start to look is at First Rock.
Really?
Because that is the rock that was built to protect the thief in money from the government entities and the SSL.
Ball out! Whoa! We need help, Jesus. Jamaica need help. Shift the party.
What you saying?
Because look how they did it, teacher. You realize all they purchased were mostly properties. Let me tell you something. Money laundering 101, if you want to move money, it's a big thing. That's what money launderers do. Because what you do, you can remember now they go to the bank, borrow against it. Because why a lot of their projects, including this Ambani project, is failing, Arbani or whatever it's called, is failing. It's because what they do, they project to spend this amount. But remember, they want to recoup the money. It is the money that they have to pay back to people who have given them money to hold for them. When you have a construction, let's say for 2 million, really and truly, you get 2 million from the bank to do your construction. You owe Joe 1 million.
Yes.
So every time you go to borrow to pay, because you can, at no stage in time, it can be seen that the money came from Joe. And this is what is happening with First Rock. And it is a shame because how on God's earth, and let me tell you how wicked Bobby is, right? Around the same time, the man in St. Mary must tell us, because he bought a house up at the Gibraltar Estate. Him and the Governor General live near the same house, almost next door neighbor. And that house was purchased for more in excess of $60 million.
Wow.
Yes. Around the same time in 2020, when the funds were moved to First Rock. Yeah. Around the same time.
You know what more often know? How is regular people like a head boy really like looking at this stuff? Where is Mocha? Where's all of these entities that's supposed to be the watchdogs? Where's the FID to? Well, the FID is understaffed and underfunded. It's like the place is just like a breeding ground for corruption. I don't love our country anymore. And I hope people understand what I'm saying. I don't love what we have become. I don't love what we are right now. There's too much erosion of just the erosion of righteousness and just goodness is just too much. I'm ashamed to be called a Jamaican right now. I'm literally ashamed. Look at what we have become. Look at, when Mark Golding said if the head of the stream is corrupt, the entire river will be also. Like, when them say they need to rescue Jamaica, no, seriously. It's not just a tagline, If these allegations, and there are many, the way how this web is allegedly connected, if these allegations are true, ladies and gentlemen, this is the darkest hour in the history of our country. We are in them. Which time darker? Just before the sun, just after the sun go down, or just before the sun come up? Whichever one it is, I am telling you, that is where we are. We are at the darkest time in our history. And this is just the reality. This is not, listen, I tell people now they don't understand what's going on Saturday. Andy Braham says blood money. We are looking over a precipice, And it's like the citizens are being asked to walk a plank. Right? And the plank at the bottom of that precipice is just death. Because if we fall, it's over. Only God Almighty can restore this country to any decency. Of what we were. We had some little good things for man. No man. Jamaica did have some little good principle, boy. Almost church per square mile, like we really never was too far from God. Mighty God.
But wait. But this Ryan Reid is said to have worked at SSL for a few years.
But I'm telling you, SSL and First Rock are no different. It's the same companies.
What can go so?
What?
First Rock was set up. Let me tell you something, teacher. And I don't want to say much on this part. But every bank or anybody who's in money, in investments, they always have a fail-safe plan. Yeah? What will happen if this collapses? They knew SSL was collapsing. And what they did, they recruited, and Bruce Golding need to come to your front of your class because I'm disappointed in Bruce.
Bruce Golding was chairman of First Rock at one point.
First Rock Barbados.
What?
Barbados. Yes. These guys are not just in Jamaica alone, you know. They have properties all over. They're doing a development in Cayman now. They have properties all over. And this is how we now ask the question why monies cannot be discovered. Because I believe these two entities were set up mainly as a vehicle to move money for certain people.
No, sir.
Yeah?
Head boy. What is happening in the country?
The country has, and this is why. Now, connect this to FID. Connect this to FID because it must be connected. Because why you think them? Because remember now, they breached the Airports Authority of Jamaica and the Minister of Transport breached the Ministry of Finance own act, which says no public board must take up money invested in a company that don't have a certain years of experience in investment in the industry. When they invested in First Rock was in its embryonic stage. It was just 1 year old.
And the government took up all of these millions of dollars.
But I said,
wait.
Doesn't it look similar?
Wait, listen to what the Integrity Commission report said. For a year, Faye Hutchinson overlapped. Listen to this, Courtney. For a year, Faye Hutchinson overlapped as a director of First Rock Capital Holdings. Listen to that. In which she's a shareholder while serving as the deputy and then board chair of Airports Authority of Jamaica, a public entity along with a subsidiary investing over 3 million US, 409 million Jamaican dollars in the company.
What can go so?
No.
So she sits on First Rock as a shareholder, and she equally sits on the board. Hey boy!
Sitting on First Rock, if I'm understanding this clearly, sitting on the board and then investing 3 million US into First Rock. Is that what I'm reading? Is that what he just read a while ago? For a year, Faye Hutchinson overlapped as director of First Rock Capital Holdings, in which she's a shareholder, while serving as deputy and then board chair of Airport Authority Jamaica, AAJ, a public entity which, along with a subsidiary, invested. So, isn't this a massive conflict of interest? The lady is a shareholder in First Rock, right? She's the director, and then she is a deputy, and then she's a board chair of the Airport Authority of Jamaica, a public entity along with subsidiary that invested over 3 million US, 409 million into said company. Hutchinson resigned from First Rock board on March 17, 1 year into appointment, amid growing internal dissent at the Robert Montague-led Ministry of Transport over unacceptable state of affairs. My God. Now, after something like this, as so much things Robert Montague did get catch pan, we never look right. So even after all of that, the Jamaica Labour Party still associate themselves with Robert Montague to the point where they play one important role in a them party. Jamaica, these are the things I want to support. If PMP couldn't do this and me support them, no way. Where is the moral compass? Listen to me, man. You don't need to know, say. You don't need to see a dead animal. If you know, say one dead animal they over this. Especially when it's at a high stage of decomposition. The stench is going to smell and stink up the whole place. So we don't need to describe these people with any adjectives. Only not smell it. Only not smell say something wrong. Only don't smell it. Oh, so far. Labor rights. Tell me say a foolishness me attack. Tell me say a foolishness me attack. I don't know if you can see the screen. But if you zoom up the screen and read what Andre just read a while ago. This does not do it for you. How are these people allowed to continue operating and being associated with the party? The party where the Labour right there love. And them have the audacity to talk about them. The Labour rights them can stand up proud and put their head high. Where? How can you hold your head high for this? You have to walk around with the head down, right down to the dirt, in a shame, if you say you support this. You don't understand, so the other one spell, man. But they even snap out of it, man. Why am I glad me not one spell? Father God, thank you for stick with me. So whatever evil and spell with them a cast don't come over that side here. Because I don't want to be walking around like a damn zombie supporting this type of craziness. This is insane.
Major conflict of interest, and that is why they ran away Billy Shaguri.
Who are the members?
Would have had none of it.
Who are the members of this board? Mr. David Lowe. Mr. Norman Reed. Mr. Douglas.
Stop it. Don't go past that name. Didn't I mention that name to you? Don't I tell you? Norman Reed was then transferred from Port Security to the Airports Authority board.
Douglas Hassal. Yard Page Seaton, that a YP Seaton. Lysandra Rickards. Alton Morgan, Perry Shirley, and Natalie Augustine. As of March 20, Norman Reed took up chairmanship. Alton Morgan, Deputy Chairman, Douglas Hassal, YP Seaton, Fia Hutchinson, and Keisha Anderson. Mighty God.
Yes. And the same Norman Reed, he is related to Ryan Reed.
No, sir.
But it goes deeper because I forget that YP was on the board. Why was YP placed on the board?
Tell us why YP Seaton was on the board.
YP Seaton is a bird shooting partner of Montague.
What you said?
The two of them shoot bird together in a St. Elizabeth Portland bush and St. Mary bush.
No.
But then also, how could you have the head of a construction company, being on the Airports Authority board? In instances, the Airports Authority had to engage them in contracts as well.
No, this is strange.
It was a feeding tree for what the man in Western St. Mary.
So why no? Why no? Explain the receivership to the public.
Help, we key out of the letter.
We need your divine intervention. We're tired of the labor rights. We're tired of the green people. We are so far. We can't take it no more. We need this. We need this. We need it. Help. Help. Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Psalm 46. God is our refuge and strength. Is a liberator.
Okay, so what happened? Remember, they have this property there in Kingston. I forget the name of the Bamboo Avenue or Bamboo, some Bamboo.
Yes.
Whatever what it's called, right? Remember how the receivership came about?
Yes.
When they started that property,
yes,
they visioned 12 units, I believe. Those, they had only one purchaser of the unit. They couldn't, so they were dependent. So this show, that this is just a special, they were depending on the money and the buy-in from the consumers to then service their loans at Sagicor. Because the reality of it is that the property was really overvalued what they purchased. That's one. And that is typical when you are trying to launder money, because maybe the vendor is one of their money movers or takers.
But this board that you're talking about, this is the first rock board, And Thea Hutchinson is a member, or was or is a member of the Airports Authority. And this kind of conflict of interest, and the IC don't ask for her to be charged?
But it goes even deeper than that. The Airports Authority had become an entity. Particularly, you saw every minute there was work at the Ian Fleming Airport. It had become a feeding tree for Montague and the Knights in St. Mary.
Head boy, we have to go catch up on this. We have to go catch up on it. Let me tell you why we have to catch up on this. You think you hear bombshell yet? Head boy, we have to go carry up. Remember, this is a developing story. This is a developing story, Jamaica. I'm going to take a break right now because
people, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I don't think there's anything that's needed to be said, if I'm being honest. All you gotta do is do your own research, man. Tell me if this looks good. Tell me if it smells good. Tell me if it sounds good. Use your senses. Pray and ask God to deliver you from whatever spell that you're under. Because if you can't see this for what it is, I don't know what to tell you. Honestly. I don't.